Disrupt Education, episode number 21. We're privileged to have Carlos Font, the founder of Vertabiz. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, let's jump right in to Vertabiz.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about what that's all about and what your journey is with Vertabiz.
So what I'm doing with Vertabiz right now is I've got a social media set up, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. And basically, it started with kind of just wanting to discover what entrepreneurship was like, and then it went into communities, so co-working spaces of entrepreneurship. And I'm learning a lot about how these people connect, how they collaborate, and the ultimate goal is to build an app one day. I haven't finalized it yet, but it definitely has to do with building community and really just showing what you do.
So getting younger entrepreneurs and older entrepreneurs and everybody into the kind of the same realm.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And you've shown a lot, and it's at Vertabiz on Instagram. Where else can they find it? Is it
YouTube account and Twitter.
Awesome. So you're a student of mine, and actually went into some Disrupt Education meetings here, and I've seen you grow through the year, a couple of years. Tell us about that journey. So where are you from high school till now, and what does that journey look like for you in your formal and informal education?
Obviously, I was here in high school, and now I'm at DePaul University. I'm a freshman, and that was really just kind of like what I thought the next step was for me. When I was here at Disrupt, we definitely questioned that, but that was later, like senior year. But yeah, that was really the next step, and now I'm in college, and I never once thought there was another option. But I'm a freshman now, and there's definitely been a lot of things where I could have gone back and changed it, but that's where I am now, and I'm at DePaul.
What are kind of things like in that DePaul area? Like you're stepping into kind of the entrepreneurship, which is kind of an evolving, newer thing for colleges to look at, and I know they got a pretty cool program there. We've talked about it. Tell us some of the things that you do or have done or are going to do in that program.
So basically, what I like about that program is the community sense. So that's why I like Disrupt Education, is because you get together with people who are like-minded, and you can share what you're doing. And that's also, I haven't really investigated much of the DePaul entrepreneurship community yet, but I have investigated other communities in Chicago, and I'm guessing that when I do become more involved in the DePaul community, it's going to be that people coming together, sharing experiences, being able to be in workshops, and that's really what it's about. Is kind of like, school can only teach you so much, but the thing about these communities is that they're gonna confront you with the experience of being an entrepreneur, and that's really important.
What are some of the most cool, the coolest places that you've seen in Chicago that are these communities? Because you've showcased a lot, and if you follow them, you're going to see a lot of these. Name some of the ones that you remember that are the coolest.
Okay, places. So there's a ton more to go. Obviously, everyone thinks 1871 is like the only one, right?
Right.
But there are so many. I mean, there's probably over 40, and there's huge chains too. Mm-hmm. One of the ones that I loved was definitely Make Offices. They have about 3 locations. And it was just that you go up, and it has a very modern feel to it. It almost looks like one of those offices from one of these stockbrokers that come to the city and have a really nice setup. But it's not that. It's a collaborative setting, so it gives you that modern feel. They have a kitchen for happy hour for people who to talk, to network, which is super important. Another place like WeWork is beautiful. WeWork is huge. I went to visit their place even in Argentina, because they have in Tokyo, Argentina, everywhere.
Wow.
And it's beautiful because they focus so much on making sure the environment is appealing to the people there. But not only the environment, I mean, the most important part about being in a community is sharing what you're doing and learning from the people who are doing similar things or completely different things. I mean, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be in that environment. You can be a professional who's just doing something different. And that's super important. And those places, they look really cool on the inside.
And I've been to WeWork in Chicago.
Okay.
And it's very cool.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it looks like in other cultures. I think that would be very cool to see.
Yeah.
Look forward to you showing us that. That's very cool. Well, let's go back to your high school realm. And when you were here, If I'm wrong, let me know. But I feel like you're more of an intrinsic kind of thinker. You had a lot of big ideas,
Definitely.
and now they're starting to come through to fruition, and you're creating. Tell me about a little bit that transition. Like, what was it that kind of clicked and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm actually going to go for it," because I saw a lot of this in your senior year.
Right. So growing up, I definitely. And I think I could go back and do a little better, but I wasn't always the best student. That's because I like to learn on my own, I think. And I always did stuff like car washes with my friend, or I try to find little ways of creating my own like income, like selling some shoes as in middle school. So that's what I liked. Like I used to sit down and just kind of read the news on Sundays and like go deeper into it because I like doing that on my own. And figuring out like what I can do with that information to do something like make an impact or find a career or something. So that's one thing in high school. I felt that when I was in the classroom, I didn't really have the teacher telling me about what the information I was given, how I could do something with that, or how that could help the world, or what is that doing today in this world. So kind of what I thought I was learning was just kind of to prepare for a test or do some homework. And yeah, so my high school experience was great. Honestly, I found myself a lot more. I made great relationships. This high school was awesome with that. But I think I wasn't the best student. Definitely, I think I could go back and do better. But yeah, that was kind of what it was like.
So on the academic side, but then on the academic side, I think you struggled a little bit with that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I think your senior year, you started to think, okay, like you started to actually create, and you were like, wait a minute, I'm going to start using my knowledge and creating for myself.
Yeah.
How did that transition happen? Was there something that sparked, or was it just maturity, or how would you?
So I think I was like, I've been thinking about this for a long time. And this is really what I want to do. And if I don't do it now, then I have more to lose later. So I figured that out, and I had to do it. So I told myself, this is like, you can do this really well because you love doing it. I think when you love doing something, you can do it really well. And I came to the Disrupt Education meetings as well, and that was definitely more of a push because you're around people who want to do things, and then a mentor like yourself. Everyone needs a mentor. So that was great, and that's kind of where that transition happened.
Thanks, man. That means a lot to me because now I'm learning from you. I'm like learning all these different places in Chicago and elsewhere that have these environments for people, and I think we need that. So I'm gonna end on the big question, right? So and I know a lot of students like you who like to learn on their own, put authentication behind the learning, and I don't think we're doing that all that great in education. But if you could redesign something at the high school level that would meet your needs better, what would that look like?
So if I could redesign something, I think I would add more of, I definitely would add more of the curriculum being tied to the current events that are going on today. So if we're in a science class, we're learning about some technology, or, we could tie it into what is that doing today. So we had always that connection. I think kids would be coming out of school thinking, I can do something about this, or kids would be coming out of school thinking, this is something I like, because when we're not tying it to the future, we're not tying it to something that's happening, and we're only learning about the content of the information, like this plus that equals that, not like this plus that can make this, and that's where you can go. I think the fact that if we tie it to what's going on today, more kids are going to be coming out of school, instead of being tired or lousy, they're going to be becoming motivated to do something in the future.
So you feel like in the school day you were just like jammed in, and it was like, okay, here's content to the next step.
Yeah, I don't think we tied it to what's going on today, and that's why we have our phones, because that's why people are so addicted to their phones, because everything's on what's going on today. And maybe if we did that in school, we'd also be more inclined to pay attention and everything.
You mentioned in our previous conversation, and it was a great quote, about students should be coming out of school energized and not drained.
Right. That's how I felt a lot of the time. I'm only 18, so I haven't analyzed it to know who was right, who was wrong. But I definitely came out of school feeling very tired, and
Right.
and I think it was because I wasn't motivated by what I was learning, and I think what motivates me is knowing that I can do something with this in the future and what that impact is. And I don't think I had enough of that information about what the impact was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. I appreciate it, Carlos.
Thanks for being
Strauser.
here. Thank
This is
you.
awesome. Episode 21, Carlos Font. You can find him at Vertabiz. We'll put all that down here. Thank you guys so much. Keep disrupting education.